Welcome, Wanderer, to the Backrooms. This is an eerie and otherworldly realm that exists just beneath the surface of our own mundane world. This strange and fearsome place can only be accessed through a phenomenon known as no-clipping, where one seems to fall through the world into this bizarre liminal space. In this solitaire trading card game, you are a wanderer, one of the unexpected explorers of the initial lobby level you've fallen into. You play through a deck of cards called the Pool Pile, which houses all manner of strange creatures, twisting pathways, and special items can help you survive in this impossible place. The ultimate goal? Escape. You must go from room to room, finding unfriendly entities to defeat, and gain a precious Painite Gem from one of them that will allow you to enter the golden stairs and escape. The game layout is very important, and holds all of the key elements necessary to facilitate your journey in this often very dangerous place. You'll have the field of play, which is an area of 8 cards in a circle, representing the rooms, entities, and items you can encounter as you move about the lobby levels of the back rooms. There's also the Pool Pile, which is the main deck that you'll be getting cards from. The deck in hand is an extremely important part of the game, acting as your stamina and how you add cards to the field of play. As you navigate, when entering a room, you'll add cards from the Pool Pile to your deck in hand, then place cards from your deck in hand onto the spaces on the field of play to open new opportunities up. During the game, the deck in hand is also affected by damage from entities in dangerous rooms. Each point of damage you take from any source sends the top card of your deck in hand to the bottom of the pool pile. Lose all of the cards in your deck in hand and you die, so watch out and don't engage with entities unless you can afford to. There's also the inventory, consisting of 4 slots for items and a single companion card. Items are generally single use, while companions can stay in your inventory until you gain another companion or choose to discard them. Then there's the discard pile, where any used or defeated cards will go unless otherwise specified. One example is the entity known as Bacteria, which gets shuffled back into the pool pile after being defeated. Cards will describe if any special effects occur, so be sure to read every card to understand their special rules. Lastly, the next level deck zone is used when playing with a portal card that can send you to another level in the back rooms. In the future, there will be more sets that can allow you to journey to new levels of the back rooms, and each of those levels will have their own portal card that can take you there. The position token has a compass icon on one side and a gem icon on the other. At the start of the game, you'll leave the token with the compass side up, and use it to track where you currently are in the back rooms by keeping it on or close to the room card you're in. I prefer to keep my token on the card, but the choice is yours. Secondly, it is also used to track whether or not you hold a Painite Gem, which is an essential item to escape. When defeating an eligible entity, you'll flip this token if you don't already have a Painite Gem. If the token lands gem side up, you have managed to find one, and from then on the gem will stay with you unless lost by card effects. Any token that's two-sided will work for this. I have my own custom token that I use, and then I use the Painite just for flipping, but the choice is up to you. Card anatomy. Room cards have a number of important features to take note of. Each room card will have a card count score on the left side, which denotes how many cards from the pool pile you will add to the bottom of your deck in hand when you move into it. On the right side of the card, you'll find the navigation points and sanity gain or loss. Sanity is added or subtracted from your current sanity total. Navigation points are drawn from the top of your deck in hand and placed face up onto the spaces on the field of play that are adjacent to your current location. Note that unfriendly entities and permanent fixtures, such as the Void or Greener Pastures, cannot be placed on top of except by card effects. So here, if we chose to place cards clockwise, we wouldn't be able to place any navigation points due to the entity's presence. Rooms may also have special text that must be followed when they are moved into, such as the Poisoned Hall, which deals 3 damage to your deck in hand if you don't have the gas mask in your inventory. So for example, after moving into the hallway, you'll add 3 cards from the pool pile to the bottom of your deck in hand, then gain 3 sanity if possible, and finally place out the top 2 cards from your deck in hand onto the field of play, clockwise or counterclockwise from your position token's current room. Sometimes you will place out 1 or even 0 navigation points if you attempt to place over unfriendly entities or permanent fixtures. This can actually be a good strategy if you're low on deck in hand cards and hope to hold on to some of them by intentionally choosing a direction with entities or fixtures. The card count score is a recurring concept you'll see on most cards you come across and describes whether you will gain or lose cards from your deck in hand. Double P always means gain from the pool pile, while DIH means deck in hand and send cards from your deck in hand to the bottom of the pool pile. Most unfriendly entities will deal damage to your deck in hand. Some cards will have a 0, which means nothing is gained or lost. These mostly only appear on items. INV refers to your inventory, and often refers to discarding items from the inventory to the discard pile. DP refers to the discard pile. Finally, FOP refers to the field of play. Item types. There are 4 major types of items in the game. Attack items, which are used to combat entities. Concealment items, which are used to escape from entities on the field of play by covering them. Wearables, which stay in your inventory and are in use until discarded. And use on self items, which are single-use items that are applied and then discarded. Cards that have been used or altered on the field of play are rotated upside down to denote that they have been used. The effect lasts until the used card is uncovered on the field of play, which neutralizes the effect, discarding the used card to the discard pile. Entities. Entity cards are the creatures of the Backrooms, sometimes human and sometimes very much not. When engaged, an entity gets placed into the center of the field of play ring called the engagement zone. Entities can be friendly and unfriendly. Friendly entities, when engaged, can either have a one-time effect and then generally get discarded, or they can be companions which can join your party by getting slotted into your inventory like an item. You are limited to one companion at a time, so when you have one and want to get a new one, the old one must be sent to the discard pile. Unfriendly entities are dangerous and look to actively harm or hamper you. Most unfriendlies will do recurring damage every round, draining your deck and hand until you run out of cards. Each round you may use one item card on the active engaged entity. Check the entity's HP against the power of the item. If it takes more than one item to defeat an entity, stack the item card horizontally on top of the entity. Once enough damage has been done to the entity to reach or exceed its HP, send it and all used item cards to the discard pile. Once an unfriendly has been defeated, if it has a Painite Gem icon along its top border, you may flip the positioning token. Note that if you already have a Painite Gem, you can disregard this flipping action. If the token lands gem side up, you have successfully gained the Painite Gem required to escape. Leave the token gem side up for the rest of the game, or until you lose it due to card effects such as the paper snakes, or when given to an entity such as Aiden for his card effect. Outcome cards. This category covers the Golden Stairs exit card and cards called permanent fixtures such as the Void and Space Portal. When one of these cards is revealed, make sure to check for special card text to determine if any additional effects occur. For instance, both the Void and Space Portal will send items from your inventory or the field of play to the discard pile when they are placed onto the field of play. The Golden Stairs is not a permanent fixture, so when placing navigation points out, you may cover it. Permanent fixtures, however, cannot be covered when placing navigation points, and simply get skipped, but still use up the navigation point. This can be a good way to save cards in your deck and hand by choosing to place where unfriendly entities and permanent fixtures are. Some also have portal icons, and can be used to send you to one of the next level decks, such as the car park level. Rarities. There are 6 different rarities present amongst Backrooms TCG cards. Yellow, which is common, green, which is uncommon, red, which is rare, purple, which is hyper rare, white, which is the pure/legendary rarity, and black, which is the void/mythical rarity. When deck building, these rarities can help to create a balanced deck. A standard deck contains the following: 10 entities, 10 items, 30 rooms, 2 outcomes, 1 exit to win and 1 portal card, or 2 portal cards. Setting up. With your 52 card deck assembled, place it face down into a pool pile area. Set your sanity to 20 using whatever method is best for you. Dice style, written on paper, etc. Draw the top 12 cards, then place 8 of those cards face up in a circle to create the field of play, starting at the bottom middle position, or the 6 o'clock, and going clockwise. Once all cards are placed out, you will then put your positioning token on the room closest to the 6 o'clock position. If the 6 o'clock slot is not a room card, continue moving clockwise card by card until you find a valid room. Place your token down, and that's basically the setup. If you reveal a field of play with no room cards, reset the game, shuffling all field of play cards into the deck and placing down 8 new cards. Once your position token is set, you may begin the first action round. Turn structure. Each turn consists of an action round followed by a movement round. Once the movement round is finished, a new action round begins immediately. If no entities or items are present on the field of play, or you choose to use no items, the next movement round begins immediately. Action round. The action round is where you will have the opportunity to engage entities, pick up items, and use items. However, if you are engaged with an unfriendly entity at the start of the action round, you will always take damage first. Calculate the entity's CCS score and lose that many cards from the top of your deck in hand to the bottom of the pool pile. Remember, the CCS is the number on the left. Then you may perform any of the following in any order. Pick up an item, use an item, engage an unfriendly entity, engage a friendly entity. Engaging entities. When engaging an entity, place the card into the center of the field of play, then calculate any sanity gain or loss, as well as gaining or losing cards from your deck in hand based on the card count score. Sanity gain or loss is only calculated when initially engaging an entity, while deck in hand damage occurs every action round. Friendly entities will either produce a one-time effect, or are companions that will be placed into your inventory and provide passive bonuses. Some entities are dual types, which can either be friendly or unfriendly depending on the card text. Make sure to read all cards carefully, as some rules can be easily forgotten in the chaotic nature of the Backrooms. Note that you may only engage one entity at a time, so generally it's a better idea to engage a friendly entity before an unfriendly. Items. Items can be used the same turn they're picked up, but only one item may be used per turn. Inventory is limited to 4 slots. If you would pick up a 5th item, you may choose an item to send to the discard pile. If a weapon item is used, place it horizontally over the entity. Several cards may be stacked onto an entity until it is defeated. Then all used cards and the entity are sent to the discard pile. Concealment items are used on the field of play and are placed upside down over an eligible entity. Once an entity is concealed, you may place cards on top of it when placing navigation points. If a used item is uncovered during the movement round, the used item is sent to the discard pile and the entity beneath it is once again considered active. Movement round. This is the portion of the turn in which you'll choose one room on the field of play to move into. You may not move the room card you are currently on or the one directly across from it. Room cards can only be moved straight across the field of play, and may not be moved onto unfriendly entities or permanent fixtures. Rooms may cover friendly entities or items, however. Once the room is moved across the field of play, place the positioning token onto the new room card. Then calculate sanity effects, gaining or losing sanity as shown on the card. Take cards from the top of the pool pile equal to the CCS score on the left side of the card, and place them onto the bottom of your deck in hand. Finally, verify the navigation points on the room card. From your current position, going clockwise or counterclockwise, place that number of cards from your deck in hand face up onto the field of play. Again, you may not cover unfriendly entities or permanent fixtures. The navigation points are still counted when placing, so it's possible to place less cards than you have navigation points. If you have enough unfriendlies or permanent fixtures next to you, you may even end up placing 0 cards. Winning and losing. During the course of your adventure, you may run out of sanity or cards in your deck in hand. These are both considered losses. However, if you manage to successfully loot a Painite Gem from an entity, and are able to reveal the golden stairs and then move into them, you have successfully escaped the Backrooms. If playing with a next level deck, you must navigate to the portal card and move into it. You can then reset the game and set up with the next level deck. In this case, the golden stairs card should be in this next level deck. Decking out. At some point, the pool pile will run out of cards. If you need to draw additional cards, but the pool pile is empty, you have decked out and must reset the field of play before you can continue playing. To do so, take all cards from the field of play, leaving your current room card and position token in the position they are in, and shuffle them together with the discard pile to create a new pool pile. Place out cards onto the field of play starting from your current room position and going clockwise until all spaces are filled. Finally, draw any remaining CCS you were unable to take as a result of the pool pile running dry. Don't forget to place out your navigation points afterwards as well. Continue performing the action and movement rounds until you find the golden stairs and move into it for the win, or lose all your deck and hand cards or sanity and lose. The Backrooms is a truly treacherous liminal space, so take heed of these rules and escape while you can. If you have any questions, feel free to comment on the video and we will get back to you. Or come join us on the Backrooms TCG Discord server, where our crew and community gather to discuss all things Backrooms TCG. Inside the Discord, you'll find deck builds to try, challenges to add to your game that can really spice it up, and announcements for new product or new pages for the Backrooms TCG graphic comic, which will give you a glimpse into the greater story of play. Check out the website too at backroomstcg.com, where you can view all currently printed cards and discover the weekly challenges, which open a whole new dimension to the game if you're interested in digging deeper. Pick up a starter deck and become a wanderer today. Thanks for watching. Give us a like if you found this video helpful, and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more Backrooms TCG content. Take care and see you in the next video, Wanderer.